Good afternoon, everyone. For the people who don't know me, I'm Isabelle and I'm in Year 11. I'm a heart double lung transplant recipient. Some of you may remember me from the monologue I performed in assembly last year called A Miracle Starts with a Beat of a Heart. Now, for the last 6 months, I've been doing something top secret. My year group would have probably noticed through last year and this year that I have not been in any sport lessons. Well, I've actually been training for a very big event. Not even my friends and teachers know about this. I've been training for sprinting to represent Australia for the World Transplant Games being hosted in Perth this April, and I'll be wearing the Australian uniform with pride. Now, you're probably all thinking, Isabelle, what is the World Transplant Games? Well, Transplant Games are hosted by Transplant Australia and sanctioned by the World Transplant Games Federation and will be held here in Perth from the 15th to 21st of April. These games are held every 2 years, with the last one being held in the UK. This is the world's largest awareness-raising event for organ and tissue donation. The World Transplant Games will see up to 1,500 participants from more than over 50 countries around the world. There will be 17 sports over 7 days. Just like the Real Olympics, there will be an opening and closing ceremonies. And of course, I'll be proudly wearing the Australian uniform. This is a perfect opportunity for years 11 and 12 to volunteer their time and add to their community hours that we all know you guys desperately need. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. When I found out about the games, it was a big opportunity for me to meet people just like me from all around the world. Suddenly, an idea formed in my head. I could get the school on board and spread the awareness of transplant donation through this event, as it is a topic of discussion that is not really looked over. Over the next few weeks, I worked hard to create a proposal to Miss Campbell for her to be my coach. She was shocked and blown away about what I said. From a young girl barely able to do physical activity and getting really puffed really easily, to a young adult asking my sport teacher to be my coach for a 100-meter sprint. She had said yes to being my coach. That was part one of my plan complete. Next was maybe a bit trickier. Presenting this proposal to Miss Aguirre. She was also blown away by my proposal, and soon enough, the school was funding me to be in the games. My first 100-meter sprint I had ever done in my life was timed at 34 seconds. Now, 6 months later, it is now down to 16 seconds. I also made a bet with the sport teachers. I have to beat them all in a 100-meter sprint. At the end of last year, Miss Campbell was up first. Sadly, she lost. But I ran a personal best of 18 seconds. Last Friday was Miss A. She was up for the challenge. Sadly, she lost too. And to top it off, I managed another PB of 16 seconds. Who's next, I wonder? If I manage to cross off all the sports teachers, then I'm up against my sprint coach, Simon Walsh. That may prove to be a bit of a challenge and a head start might be needed. My main event in the games is the 100-meter sprint. However, I'm going to try my luck at a few others. I'll also be competing in the 4x100-meter relay, the 200-meter sprint, long jump, and volleyball. I would also like to take this opportunity to shout out to these fabulous people who made this opportunity possible. Firstly, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Miss Aguirre for allowing Perth College to support and fund me, for Miss Campbell for encouraging me and believing in me, Perth College sprint coach Simon Walsh for training my butt off and getting those times down. I would also like to thank Transplant Australia for bringing to Perth College the World Transplant Games Gift of Life baton. Organ and tissue donation saves lives. That is the simple truth. Right now, there are 1,850 people waiting for their life-saving second chance of life, a transplant. By becoming an organ donor, you alone could one day change the lives of up to 10 people just from signing up. Did you know that only 36% of Australians aged 16 and over are currently registered as an organ donor? It is so important to register and let your family know you want to be a donor. Have the conversation with all of your family members and encourage them to become a donor too. Registration is so quick and easy. donatelife.gov.au. I'm standing in front of you today because my donor decided to register as an organ donor. Without that person on that day, I would not be here telling you my story. Their family, wherever and whoever they are, I think will be so proud of them for giving someone their precious gift of life. That person on that day gave me the ability to breathe. That person on that day gave me the ability to run, walk, and play sports. That person on that day gave me back to my family. That person on that day gave me back to my friends. And that person on that day gave me my life and future back. Thank you.